Hey everybody, Logan here, and today's the day after the 3DS and the Wii U eShops have shut down. What a sad day. Rest in peace, my eShopian friends. I don't know. So, with all the games that can no longer be purchased, games that can no longer be found at your fingertips on one of these bad boys, or one of these bad boys, or one of these bad boys. We'll take a look at those in a minute. There's only one way to get games now, and that's physically. So there are games that have recently gone up in value. I don't know if they've gone up in value in speculation of the eShop shutting down, but I've noticed that some of my games have started trending upwards. And the last few days, they've trended even higher than I expected. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. As you can see, I do have a number of 3DS and DS games back there, and I bet you're looking at, hey, you got some missing. Yeah, because I pulled 10 games from my collection, which when I bought them, they weren't really that expensive, or I bought them brand new. And for most of the games when they come out are 30, 40 bucks. I should say were 30, 40 bucks brand new. Some as low as 20. But usually around that $30, $40 mark. $40 was pretty much the standard price for a 3DS game. Now, we're going to look at some. Nothing's lower than 40. Nothing's lower than 40. Everything's open, been used, been played. And it's a shame that, hey, it's great for the collector, but it's a shame that the only way to get these games are going to be to pay a high price. And we're not going to look at any collector's editions. I decided not to focus on any of those big box specialty boxes, just the game itself. So I pulled 10 games from my collection. Not the most expensive, not the least expensive. The ones that I saw the largest jump from the last time I looked. So I use an app called GameEye to track my games, track my collection, track the values, and I think it even tracks Metascore. So with that being said, we're going to take a look at these games. Unfortunately, I have no way to capture game footage, so we're going to play around on on my 2DS XL, my new 2DS XL, while we take a look at some of these games. So I'm going to show you some of these games, show you some of the hardware that I have. It's not all of it. I do have more in there. It's up on display. You can see those in my upcoming Game Room 2023 tour. 2023 Game Room tour, what have you. So let's take a look at 10 games and discuss that 3DS games, physical games, are going to get a lot more expensive. Oof. Hold on to your butts. Okie dokie. So we're going to take a look at a few systems here that I have. This has been my workhorse for the last 3 or 4 years now. I got this before I moved, maybe in 2020. So it does work. I made sure it was charged. It's not completely charged, but come on. I turned it off to make sure the battery didn't die. But as you can see, what I normally play is Animal Crossing. And see how the bottom populates. I have plenty of digital games. I don't have a whole lot, but I have a number. So I got quite a bit. I've got everything that I wanted. And as you can see, I've been playing Animal Crossing New Leaf for years. One thing I loved about the 3DS, you could set themes, and then the background music, you'd get all kinds of great, depending on the theme, music. You get the background or intro themes or startup themes to whatever you did. As you can see, I've got a number here that were free after a while. One that I used quite often was the Sega Saturn. but Cold Step Revolt, the Metroid, Samus Returns. Sega Dreamcast is the one I use the most next to the Metal Gear Solid, because the Metal Gear Solid 3, see, I love that. See how it says Dreamcast on the side? Yeah, isn't that cool? Now, one thing that most people don't know with this theme, that background music is Phantasy Star Online. Yeah. Crazy. All right. So with that being said, let's move this out of the way. We're going to close this up and take a look at that again in a minute. Now, actually, if you're wanting to get one of these pre-owned, according to GameEye, which uses, I can't remember, it's a conglomeration or a compilation, if you will, of different game meta sales from eBay and stuff like that, from different game sites, game charting and whatnot, price charting. So this is averaging at $235 pre-owned, loose. I have it complete in box. When it was brand new, these things went for $200. So, wow. The prices will fluctuate, but that tells you it's already going for more than what it did brand new. Next, we're going to look at the 2DS. This is the Legend of Zelda 1. It had Ocarina of Time 3D pre-installed. I bought this one day. I was at Target. It was $79.99. It was the last one. I go to my wife, I've been wanting this. She's like, are you sure you really want it? And I was like, yeah, I already have it. She's like, do you really want it? I was like, yeah, $79.99. You know how much this bad boy is going for right now? Complete in box? $179. $179.99. Now, I also have the black and blue version of this as well. Now, with the new 2DS, I also own the... What were the other colors? I want to say it was the orange and white. I think there was another one. Was there a purple one? I don't quite remember. But my wife has hers. We also have the orange and white. So with that being said, let's move that out of the way. And now there's also the big boy, which is the new 3DS XL. Now, I don't have a 3DS or a 3DS XL. My wife has a 3DS XL, but once I got the new 3DS, I really didn't need it. But I did like having the special editions. So I have this one, which is the Fire Emblem Fates edition. I also have the Metroid edition. But this one you're looking at right here is the most expensive in my collection. That's $669 according to GameEye, which, like I said, game chart, price chart, what have you. So complete in box, that is nuts. So these are just system prices. But like the title says, we're going to look at games. So I'm going to look at 10 games that I pulled from my collection randomly. We're going to look at them in alphabetical order. And I have them right here. There you go. There's all 10. Okay, let me put these aside and we're going to grab so on. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each one. And if you guys have played them or you like them or you know about them, drop it in the comments below as well. So the first one on the list that I pulled is the original Bravely Default. Bravely Default is a turn-based JRPG in the vein of the original Final Fantasies. If you look at it in the back of the box, you're going to see some of it. They're almost chibi style in terms of art. Again, more akin to Final Fantasy IX and stuff like that. But this game, when it came out, I didn't pick it up when it came out. I bought it pre-owned, and I think I got this one for about $30 pre-owned. Now, we're sitting at $49.99. Well, I shouldn't say 99 because it's just $49 according to that. So, this is one of the least expensive ones on the app. There's 3 that fall, not on the app on this list, that fall into the $40 category. Everything is above. And I'm going to tell you everything that I got, that I paid, I should say, for each of these games. And you're going to notice a bit of a theme, because some games are still rather inexpensive, but if you're looking for the really good stuff, you're going to notice that the prices have already gone up. Next is Concept Revolt. Now, this is a card-based strategy RPG, and this, I think the first one of this was Concept Saga on the Xbox 360. Correct me if I'm wrong, that was the first place I saw it. It might be on other systems too, but I remember originally having it on the Xbox 360. Now, I also got the collector's edition a few years later because I tried to pre-order the collector's edition of this because I love this series, and I wasn't able to. So I got the regular, and then later on I got the collector's. The collector's edition is significantly more expensive. When I bought the collector's edition, it was $30 pre-owned. We're talking about 3 or 4 years ago. So just taking a look at this, you can see the type of gameplay on the back. Again, I really am sorry I don't have gameplay footage. I could rip from other people, but I really don't want to do that. When you see 3DS or DS footage, you can really tell it's been ripped from someone else. So I'm not going to do that. But like I said about this, Concept Revolt is sitting at a hefty $73. $73. Wow. So the next two fall in the same series. When I bought them on clearance when I was working at GameStop for a very short stint right after I left Microsoft, just because I was bored. My wife and I had just opened our business and it was a little slow, so I was like, I'm kind of bored. I worked there for a few months. They tried to make me manager, blah, blah, blah. That's a story for another time. So we're going to go with the first one being Dragon Quest VII. So, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. RPG. Have you played the original? JRPG to the core. So, if you're talking about price on this one, a cool $80. Like I said, I got this one and the next one on clearance for $24. I think one was $27, one was $24, and then I got my discount on top of it. But this one is a cool $80. And the next one, like I said, is Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. Again, same Dragon Quest series. You want to guess how much this sucker's going for? I don't remember which one was 24 and which one was 27. That was the sticker price, but again, I had my discount as well, so it was even less than that. They were, let's give it, say, around $20 to $23 a piece. $116. $116. That's nuts. Next, I didn't think this one would be the one to shoot up in the series. I have all the games for the 3DS in this series, and that is the Fire Emblem series. And this one is Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. Now, there was a second one to this, Fire Emblem Fates, I can't remember what it was. It was purple, and I think it had a C. I can't remember. Drop it in the comments below if you can remember. I brain farted what the other one was. Wow, I cannot remember. But this is one of the best Fire Emblem games. I really got my start with Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS in this series, and I just fell in love with it. My first tactics RPG, if that's what you want to call it, with the strategy type gameplay, was Shining Force 2. And once I found this franchise, I fell in love. First one was Awakening, but this is the second one that I really dug my heels into and spent hundreds of hours. Fire Emblem Fates was what, $39.99 when it came out? We're talking $65. $65. Wow. Next one was a game that, again, I got on clearance. And I was like, sure, no problem, I'll pick it up. And that's what I did with a lot of JRPGs when GameStop was getting rid of them, because I was like, okay, and people didn't seem to want them. And this one, I wouldn't say it's a JRPG per se. It's an action RPG, and it's in the series of Monster Hunter, and that's Monster Hunter Stories. And the sequel to this I can't remember how long it came out, but it did come out on the Nintendo Switch. But this one was the first in the series, which, if I'm not mistaken, was on sale when Monster Hunter Stories 2 came out on the Switch. It was on sale on the 3DS. I think that's where most people ended up picking it up. But this one, I want to say I got for around 20 bucks, again, on clearance, brand new, at GameStop. And this one now goes for a cool $67. $67. So, as you can see, I've got them all in there, manuals and everything. Now, the next one, I had to throw a Pokemon game in this list because Pokemon games on the 3DS really didn't hold as much value as the DS versions. The DS ones shot up, but now the 3DS ones are starting to move. And the one that I noticed has moved the most is Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. Out of the ones that I have Pokemon Ultra Moon, Pokemon Sun, and Pokemon X, as well as Alpha Sapphire. And this one is the one that shot up the highest at $42. Yes, it was $39, but it's still $39.99. So it's technically $2 more than when it came out, but used. Beaten. I played the smudge out of this game. Yes, I said smudge because I held back the language. So think about that. You played it, you beat it, you held it for a while, and it went up $2. Now, the next two, again, are also in a series. I had them when they came out, traded them in. That was the time I was, all right, if I don't want this game, I trade it in. So I eventually picked them up, both of them, about maybe 4 years ago. And that would be two games, Project Cross Zone and Project Cross Zone 2. So Project Cross Zone and Project Cross Zone 2, if we look at the first one, they are cross games with characters from Capcom, Bandai, I always do that, Bandai, Namco games, and Sega as well. It's a tactics-based RPG with great stories, crazy over-the-top stories, but you have part 1 and then you have part 2, and the part 2 is a bit different. This one is, I want to say it's more of a side scroller than this one. I can't remember if they both had grid and side scroller. I don't quite remember it in this one, but it's been such a long time. I remember this one had like a grid map, but you would still have the turn-based and they come out and fight each other. It's been quite some time. But Project Cross Zone sits at $61. I bought this one pre-owned again. I went back and bought them both. I want to say I got this for around 30 bucks. And then Project Cross Zone 2, I got around 20 bucks. And Project Cross Zone 2 sits at $93. $93. Crazy. Now, the only thing is this one doesn't have the manual, but it's still rather expensive without the manual. And I don't know how much it is with manual, so I do have to look it up and see how much it goes for with the manual. But I'll pick up the manual whenever I can. Now, this last one, it is the last one. It's number 10. It's an oddball one. I never thought would be as expensive as it is. I think it was only a $20 game when it came out. I don't remember it being 40, but hey, I might be wrong. Drop it in the comments below if you remember otherwise. And that's Tomodachi Life. I know I got this one for 20 bucks because it was a Nintendo Selects. All the Nintendo Selects ones were dropped to 20 bucks, and I have a couple of them. I think I have Majora's Mask, and I have, I don't know which one else. It's an Animal Crossing and something else. But yeah, these were $20. So I picked it up at $20, and now we're sitting at a cool $46. $46. And I bought this one for my wife. I think she has it. Yeah, she actually has it in one of her 3DSs at the moment, because she still goes back and plays her 3DS as well as I do. Mainly we play Animal Crossing. We'll boot it up on New Year's Eve and spend New Year's, yeah, we're getting old, in Animal Crossing New Leaf and New Horizons together, blah blah blah, whatever. It's something we do. But to see a $20 game, brand new $20 game, to be 46 bucks, and these are just going higher. these games are doing nothing but increasing in value. And these are only 10 random games from my collection. 10 games from my collection. That's not even all of it. I think for my 3DS, I have around 70 plus games. Maybe a little more with the collector's edition, but that theme always does that. I thought my DS, my 2DS, 3DS, whatever you want to call it at the time, was wonking out. I was like, no, it's just the way the theme starts back up after you turn it, wake it up from sleep mode. But if you want to take a look to see what games I do have, I would buy some random games just to be like, hey, it was cheap. It was 50 cents. Sometimes I have Eternal Blade 2 on the Switch. A lot of these I have sequels on the Switch. Happy Home Designer, I have it digitally, and I have it physically. I've never played it. Code of Princess. I have the Switch version. X Cave, I thought it looked really cool. I know I've played it. I want to say it was a Gauntlet style dungeon crawler thing. I don't quite remember. Marvel 3D Pinball. Mario Kart 7. This is the game I played the most. And I bet you're wondering why I have these digitally. When I bought my 2DS, my first 2DS, it came with it installed. And then I just carried that profile over. Link Between Worlds. I have this physically and digitally because, again, I have bought another 2DS later on. I forgot what happened to my first one. Something happened to it. It broke or something like that, and I had to replace it. And it had a Link Between Worlds. And I was able to just carry everything over with the profile. Ironfall. Fat Dragons. I thought it was funny. I think it was 50 cents or something like that. You're going to see a lot of that. Mega Man Legacy Collection. It was on sale. And I got it dirt cheap and I didn't have it. So I was like, okay. These were free to play. Outrun 3D. RPG Maker Fez. That's the way to play them. If you create them in a game, this is how you can play them. Rusty's Real Deal, that was also a free-to-play. Turtle Tail, because it was a turtle. Kirby Clash Deluxe, that was free-to-play. Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS. I don't remember why I have this digitally. I cannot remember how I ended up with it digitally, but I do have it digitally. Sub-Wars Steel Driver. 3D Sonic. And it's kind of pointless playing these 3D games on here because they're not in 3D. Urban Champion, 3D Classics. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. Again, I don't know how I have this 3D. Maybe I went through a while ago and bought them on sales. I do not remember. That one I know was digital only here in the States. I play that quite a bit. Yep. And these I pulled over from my DS back in the day. I'm an artist. Of course, I'm going to have Art Academy. And then I have all the Virtual Console games. Yeah, you can see I got plenty of Game Boy games. I'm glad I bought those. Got my Game Gear games because I love me some Game Gear. And then all my downloadable Pokemon stuff here, there, blah, 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 and then the settings. So, there you go, everybody. What do you guys think? Do you have a substantial 3DS collection? Are you now going to chase physical 3DS games before they blow up, before they get ridiculously expensive? Tell me what you guys think, what you guys are going to do. Hopefully you guys have, those of you watching this, are either not kicking yourself or you're like, hey, I still have my 3DS games Glad I bought them physically. Glad I bought them digitally because, hey, even digitally, it's going to cause the value of your console to go up. But then again, you have to worry about your Nintendo account. So, hey. But thank you guys for watching. This has been a rather long one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Again, remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Thank you guys so much. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.